Ladies and gentlemen, the time has finally come. We made a significant amount on that last Tesla trade. 71% on the underlying, an average of 1,000% on the contracts. You saw the contracts. Listen, it's about time. And I'm not talking about the Model S here that's about to get purchased for cash and delivered to one of the Lacases. Soon to be multiple with the chart I'm about to show you from Tesla, because the Tesla chart is not like the others. It's a different breed of chart we're about to see, because Tesla has never experienced a pattern like we're about to see. And so we're going to do it together. We're going to take a look. So let's jump into it. We'll leave the purchase for after we chart. Again, Tesla has always been one of those tickers that a little unconventional. The buying opportunities are sort of always presented, not in a consolidating way. We just actually had, if you think about it, the first real consolidation on Tesla. These are not consolidations or anything. This is not consolidating. This is sort of consolidating, but it's not really what it felt like in this time. It's not consolidating. This is basically just trading sideways for Tesla. You get pullbacks, buy on the pullback, trade sideways, buy on that breakout. That's it. But look at this. There's a whole new story in here. And when this is developing, what is everyone thinking during this time? How different is this than the rest of the times that we've seen Tesla? Were these not big opportunities in here? I wasn't buying down here. This is, in the sense that I'm going long and I'm just happy with it, right? Just like the whole market, when the market pulled back, no one was going long. We were just doing swings, easy swing plays. But in terms of going long, even here, not clear that you can go long here. I didn't go long here. Well, let's think about it now. The whole market just broke out, right? You guys you've all seen the chart I posted of S&P, Nasdaq. Everything's just broke out of its wedge, basically, right? And you got a continuation. Well, think about Tesla right now. Tesla didn't get as deep of a wedge, and again, it's a much larger swing. But look at the converging trend lines in here. You can just see it, right? When have we ever seen that? There's no converging in here. None of that. This area right here. Let's just draw it. Okay. Is this the trend line up here? That's not it. Think about this candle first of all. So this is a pretty important candle. First of all, because we were not sure if this was the time we were going to break out or not. This would be an extremely quick, breakout. Take a look at this trend line. This is the one that I was looking at, and when these candles formed here, already you start to think about it. But the story has finally been told today, I would say. It wasn't the breakout yesterday. It wasn't. And even today, I'm calling it a breakout, but it's not more volume or anything. So we still have a little bit of a ways to go. These are the two convergent trend lines I'm looking at. Okay. Coming down in here, makes sense. Up here, makes sense, because look at this candle. This candle broke out of the trend, but think about how different this candle is. It attempted a breakout, so think about where we opened. Attempted. Look at this bounce that came in here. So that's why I actually have this level in here. There's 408. 408 is very local, just really in here. I don't even really count these too much in there besides the zone. These are pretty strong in here, very local. The 428 in there is really what we're looking at for in terms of this next play, and that's going to come with another trend line. Again, we have an inbound trend line here, very much like the market. I'll put that in a second, but just sort of think about this price moving in here, and anyone that said that this was like clear, obvious, that it can't be true. It wasn't clear. In a macro sense, yeah, this is a pretty, it's a pretty nice looking pattern, right? This is pretty symmetrical, right? This isn't a any normal continuation. This is a symmetrical triangle. It's pretty damn good. This is following technicals, to a T. You breaking down through a trend. So if we're looking for the inbound trend, have to start at least around after that. Maybe include this here. Let's see. What's the best way to tell this story? And I think we've established that this came out of a trend just because of the way it traded in here. And also if we think about this angle. So, I'm thinking particularly these wicks in here, especially this wick here. So this candle kind of threw me off. If we think about yesterday's candle, you lost some momentum here. Momentum's 10 bars. Think about, we lost some momentum here, which is, obviously it was because of the level here. And also the market, this is the first time we've really seen Tesla follow the market. And, it's not exactly clear why we've had a shift. And I think maybe the best way to explain it is just it's the volume that's coming in. I think there's so many institutions that are already long that it's sort of, think about Tesla. Tesla was never traded. No one was trading it. You were just buying it and going long. There was never a time when you were swinging it in here. When do you swing it in here? That's not what anyone was doing. Every time I went here, I'm going long, looking to go long. Yes, I sell on reversals. Up here, you sell on a reversal. But no one's going into Tesla and going, okay, I'm going to scalp on intraday and make some bank here, or I'm going to swing up through. Where is that happening? Even on earnings, nobody has any idea. So that's not what's going on. And so what happened in here? Well, there was trading going on in here. That's why this looks so different. And that's how you get consolidations, is you have traders trading completely different than usual for Tesla. And I think that's also a story of this candle. And so, I'm thinking about, I was just thinking about in here. Sorry. So yeah, so think about this tick down here. I think that makes a lot of sense. Take a look at the movement in here. We get this candle here. I think that makes a lot of sense. I wanted to give a story to this candle yesterday. I think that helps tell the story a little bit. And in terms of where this inbound trend starts, somewhere in here, let's say. Upper trend line, it's going to be just the top here, right? Just throw that up there. There you go. You get 2 wick touches up there. Maybe it's down a little bit more to get on there. Somewhere in here. And so, here's your trend. So, again, these would touch down here, I'm sure. But this is COVID, coming down in here. It looks pretty small now comparatively, but, the trend didn't start in here, right? None of the trend started in here. The market was not trending. This is a trend. Think about how this is moving in a trend in here. You don't start at the. So when I talk about inbound trends, yes, you can extend this, and I'm sure you get some wick touches or something in there, but it's not about that. We're just trying to get a story of, okay, here's our channel coming in between here. Again, this little bit of a breakout or breakdown here, again, is also the market, and because of the way this was sort of, it's not as much consolidation, but it was a big pullback, and a lot of decisions were being made in here, and obviously everyone decided to take that as a long opportunity. This was an easy trade. You didn't even need this trend line in here as support. You already had this whole layer of support in here. You're just waiting for the breakout. Think about this candle here. Take a look. Light and day, right? You watch it open on that. So when I got that trade, light and day. As soon as open came in, completely different story. When you take a look at the book, take a look at the candle, everything was different. That we've continued from this point to have this, this level of volume. Again, these last few days, this is how I always can see. So again, we didn't get a big breakout candle here today, but it's okay to take the opportunity now. I would imagine it's going to come, right? Everyone's going to probably think about it the same way, especially with the market. So, here's what we're looking at. Let's let's take a look at sort of on a more macro scale. Think about this. This trend line is pretty strong. So this is going to be our key support line. Now, what sort of buying opportunities come in here? We're still not 100% sure what we're going to see through the end of this week, and I've been talking about how this week is the most important week, it seems. So we've had through this week, so we ended on a strong note in the market here. We gapped up again in the market, and so then we traded sideways these last 2 days. Today was again another positive day, and we finally, so Tesla's, this support I have here is also the same as, if you look at the S&P NASDAQ, it also has that same support, which it cleared today. So that's sort of this 428. It's obviously Tesla support as well. And then the 408. The big resistance level is this the 437.30. I've had it in there since, I think, right back here. Again, you get some wick touches in here, but there is no other supply above it. There's just no other supply. So if you clear this level, I mean, where are you going? I mean, think about this candle here. Well, that's because you're clearing open supply. Again, you're breaking all times here every single time, right? When we get up in here, okay, it's about 580 up in here. Am I thinking 580? Yeah, I'm thinking pretty big in here. Think about the way this is going to trade in here. If the market continues to take this uptrend, that's all Tesla needs to take off now. This is a major consolidation. There's a ton of trading going on in here, and now that you're breaking through, so you created all these levels of supply, solidified them, you got this whole level of support down here. This is good night. Let's take a look. No matter how, whatever the area is that it finally takes off from, maybe even tomorrow coming out of here, this thing is, if you think about the way it's going to trade through here, so if we think about the number of days in here, right, this isn't even a month. This is like 20 trading days. It's gone. I think literally right where I just put that is probably where I'm thinking it's going to go. In terms of how it could, this is not how Tesla trades, right? It's not going to trade on this trend line. Markets trade like that. Tesla is more, verticality. Think about this candle here. Now, we don't have resistance up here for a while, so you're not going to get buying that much. Not a candle up to the trend line or something absolutely ridiculous. But I'm thinking something like this in a pullback, not selling there, solidifying a new level in here somehow. Maybe it's a couple days even. You could still hold that. You're already up. You're already up like 30% on the underlying here, and then take it back up. So the way I'm sort of thinking in terms of a number in here, if we think about this loss that came in, let's take a look. It's about 35%. Okay, this is about 35% here. I see that easily being reclaimed. So the reason why we need to reclaim this is because now that we consolidated, now we're going to reclaim the loss that came in here. Price consolidated. You've got support underneath you. So I can say at least this. So what do we got here? What does this come out to? 573. Let's put this as the lower bound. So let's call this the lower bound of our target. 573. So that's in 20 days or whatever, 21 days, something like that, right? In terms of an upper bound, let's see here. In terms of amount of days, so that's 19. What's 20? Let's see. So let me, something that's like 14. So that's about the length of the pattern. So I'm not saying this is the movement, right? I'm not saying this is the movement. It's going to just go here. But I think in terms of this range here, think about this sort of range here. It's about the range of this consolidation. In terms of the way Tesla moves, take a look at how Tesla moves in here, right? This was 70% in 20 days. that was from bottom of the channel to top of the channel. Think of that again here. Look at, we have 14 days here. That's 41%. Is it really much to ask for? This was 70% in 20 days. This is 42% in 14 days. I don't think that's much to ask for considering where we are and where the market is and primed to rally. Now, of course, it's still like a stimulus story and everything, and we're not, there's still uncertainty, but listen, the market has broken out of its consolidation with all that already happening. And so all that can really come in now is good news. Think about Tesla. Got bad news. It had great new innovations for Battery Day, and it still sold on it. I mean, just sort of something, it doesn't really make sense, right? They have good news, and it was just because of the length of time. And so, but institutions don't care about time. They want to go long. And so if there's an opportunity, now there was not an opportunity in here during Battery Day because the market was consolidating and you couldn't go long. Everyone was still swinging, like I was saying. So I'll draw it up a little nicer later. Let's go with, what do I say, 573 to 607. That's my target on Tesla. 573 to 607 in 20 days, 21 days. 21. That's going to be the target. And I think that's about spot on. I don't think it gets much better than that. And I never put targets out for Tesla. When I bought here, I had no target. I just say until it reverses. When you're in here, is this a reversal? No. Is this a reversal? No, because I bought down here. How is that a reversal? It's not even half of what I'm in already. Up here, not a reversal. Here, what happened? Well, I didn't even know this trend line was here. But what happened here? They did an offering. That was all I needed to exit that position, because what happens when an offering, as soon as it started to sell, that was all you need. Down here, same thing. This is going to be an easy entry. And I think this is probably another one of those trades that everyone looks at and goes, well, I don't know. It was the same when I bought the SPY and the Qs down here. Got this whole swing in here. Same. You know, we're up, what, 5% on the underlying now? I mean, I think this is going to be an important chart, everybody. So digest it. I think the only technical we got is like a 21. We crossed the 21 moving average right here. I think that's all there is. And we also obviously lost some momentum here. Technicals wise, there's not really anything other than the levels in here. But this is what we're looking at. So listen, there's going to be multiple opportunities in here, but if you don't get in, then you're never going to get in. Listen, there's no way you can buy in here. This maybe was a buying opportunity, but you already missed out on 30%. Listen, it's so hard to, you can't chase momentum on this ticker, because as soon as you buy up here and then you lose it, then you want to exit the trade, and you can't even, you're going to keep rationalize a new entry every single time. If you got in here, you didn't need to do anything. You didn't do it. You sit on your hands. You need to wait for a breakout. This is a breakout. Now, it could come in here, whatever. It's fine. Buy on this trend line, buy on this level, and if we clear this resistance, buy on that level. Accumulate whatever you got to do. If you can't afford a $30,000 contract, then this is one of those scenarios where it's okay to buy out of the money. As long as you're buying with velocity on one of these supports, then it's okay to buy onto the money. It's really okay, because it's a little bit more clear where we're going. There's no, look at, this is your stop down here. You're really okay to hold and push this contract, even if you're out of the money and you're losing a couple points on it. You should be clear enough, right? Think about it. Even if we don't get a candle like this, let's say you get 5%. You get 5% from any of these, even out of the money. Even if you lose a couple percent, that should not even take you to break even. You should still be up on those contracts. So as long as you're doing it, entries are nothing. Entries nothing. Get the out of the money contract. You can't afford much. It's fine. Get that, and you get what, 1,000% if we come up here on something just a little bit out of the money. I mean, the contract's back on this here. I think out of the money. I mean, what were they? Down here we were at like 300. This was like the start of the split and everything. Whatever was going on here, and the prices were a little different. I'm pretty sure Things that were about 10% out of the money got about 1,000%. And then 20% out of the money got about 2,000%. Probably more than that because of the exponential. So listen, take the trade. Don't be worried about it. Glad we finally got one of these charts. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you in chat.